right, so we're at the bike and let's turn it on. And as you can see, it is in the track 1 map of the race mode. And I've made a video about this earlier, but just to quickly recap, if you wanted to switch from the track 1 map to the track 2 map of the race map, you would hit the button down here, the mode select button, and that switches you to track 2, race, track 1, track 2, race, and so on. Alright, so it cycles within these 3 maps. Now, when I get to the track, my first session is almost always in the sport mode. And so now, how do I get out of this, mode? Because right now we're in the race mode. I want to get out of the race mode and select a map within the road mode. And so here's a visual of what I'm talking about. Right now I'm in the track 1 map, and the track 1 map is within the race mode. I want to move out of the race mode and get into the road mode, and then select the sport map, because that's for me, that's what I do the first time, the first session of any day. Even if I've been on the track the day before, it's my kind of sighting session. So I just take it easy, get my mind wrapped around the track, observe the track conditions and all that. So how do I get out of the race map and get into the road map? Well, I would press and hold the mode right button, and I would toggle down using the mode down button to highlight the vehicle menu, and I would select the vehicle menu with the mode right. It is showing race mode. I want to switch to the road mode. I would press the mode right button again. I'm in the road mode, that's correct. Get out, so I would exit by hitting this button and hit it again. And now I am in the user map of the road mode. Well, I want to switch to the sport map, and so I would press this button down here, and that takes me to the next map, the street map, and now I'm in the sport map. And like I said, I'm going to run the first session in the sport map, and then I come back and switch out, and if I'm feeling comfortable, I would switch into the race mode the race mode, and I usually start in the race map of the race mode. So one way to look at it is that within the race maps, within the race mode, the race map is like the novice map. So again, it's only, relative to the other maps in the race mode. So the race map is probably the safest. The next in terms of safety is the intermediate, what I've labeled the intermediate, and that's a track 1 map, and then the track 2 map is probably the most ferocious. So, all right, if I've been on this map for a while, for the first session, and I'm ready to get out and get into the race mode, and the race map within the race mode, again, I would select this mode right button and hold it pressed. It goes to the vehicle menu. I would select the vehicle menu. The mode tab is highlighted. I would switch to the race map and then get out by pressing these buttons. So now I'm in the track 1 map, but I want to be in the sport map, and so I would press this button. That switches me to the track 2 map, and now I'm in the race map. All right, so let's say I do a couple of sessions in the race map, and now I want to switch and go to the track 1 map. So all I have to do is, now I'm in the track 1 map. Now, the track 1 map is, in case you're wondering, what are the parameters of the track 1 map? Well, this table shows you that in the track 1 map, the ATC is at level 3 out of 8. The wheelie control is level 1 out of 3. The anti-lock braking is level 1 out of 3. The engine mapping is on 2 out of 3. The engine braking is 2 out of 3. And the suspension control is at A1. And the launch control is at 1. Now, the track 1 map and the track 2 map are completely customizable. So the question is, how do you change these values? So if I'm the track 1 map and I ride it for a couple of sessions, and let's say that I want to change the engine map from 2 to 1. So I want a little bit more immediate power delivery. I want a little less sort of, nannying, and I'm ready to sort of ramp up the performance. And so I decide I want to play with the engine mapping and see what happens if I, dial it down to 1. All right, so I'm in the track map and I want to make some changes. So what I would do is come here and press and hold this button. All right, when I press and hold this button, this gives me access to 7 of the 9 parameters that I can change. So I can change the engine map, AEM, I can change the engine braking, the traction control, the wheelie control, the launch control, the anti-lock brake, and the suspension control system. The only thing that's not available in this menu are the quick shifter, which I've turned on and I want to leave it as on, and the pit lane speed limiter, which I normally don't use because I manually control my speed when I'm in the pits. All right, so let's say I want to change some of the settings here. And earlier I said I wanted to try map 1, so engine map 1. How do I make that change? Well, I would press the mode right button. So if I press the mode right button, you can see that the engine map has turned to 3. And I would press it again because it goes all the way up to 3, then it comes back to 1. And so now I'm in 1 and I'm done. If I wanted to exit, I would hit this button and exit out. And so what I have done is that I'm in the track 1 map, but I have changed the engine map to 1. Let's say I want to make another change. I'm back here and the engine braking is at 2. I want to ramp it up a little bit. I want a little bit more engine braking. So I would hit the down button to have it highlight the engine braking. Now I'm on the engine braking tab, and I would hit the mode right button. And now the engine braking is set at 3. All right, again, if I wanted to exit at this point, I would just press this and keep pressing it until I'm back and I'm ready to go. If I wanted to change the traction control at this point, I would press the mode down button. So now that is highlighting the traction control, and it has 8 levels. Right now it's at 3. Let's say I want a little bit more safe. I'll take it up to 4, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, and then back to 1. Oh, so it's off. I can completely turn off the traction control. And then if I press the right button again, it goes to 1, 2, 3, etc. If I have got myself confused and I'm like, well, what is the factory setting? I would come back here and I would see that in track 1, the traction control is supposed to be at level 3. And so I'm at level 3 and we're good. Okay, so at this point, if everything is good and I'm ready to roll, I would press the exit button. And I'm in track 1 map with the settings that have been modified to my liking. Okay, so that's how this works. I would probably ride the track 1 map on any given day, and then if I feel really comfortable, if I feel like I'm in the groove and I'm ready to set a PB, then I might switch to track 2 and see if it does anything for me. But again, there is a trade-off between performance and safety, so I've always got that in mind. And so, you know, depending on how you feel, you have to figure out where you want to be. All right, so hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching. See you next time.